Welcome to the I'm Such a Pisces podcast. We're two friends taking an explorative journey into all things astrology and a little woo. I'm Christine. I'm a creative, intuitive counselor and coach, and astrology enthusiast. We Pisces like to wear all the hats. You can find me on IG at The Dreamy Piscean.
And I'm Shelby. I am a licensed social worker, a big feelings person, and a light skeptic. Here to learn all the astrological things. You can find me on Twitter at Shelby Tweeting, and being a Cancer rising on Instagram at Shelby Cooking Things. Welcome to our show.
What's up, y'all? We are back with the I'm Such a Pisces podcast. My name is Christine.
And I'm Shelby.
Welcome back to another week.
Here we are. I feel like we're really back in the flow now. Season 4. This is episode 7. Time really flies when you're having fun.
I'm telling you. I'm like, oh, we're in it. Yeah, we're in the thick of it now.
Mm-hmm. We were just off mic congratulating ourselves for. I feel like our audio quality is, don't flame us too much, but like I feel like it's gotten better. Obviously, since season 1, I feel
Absolutely.
like we're in a flow of things. Obviously, if anybody out there does want to put us in a professional recording studio. I would still gladly take that, but I feel like we're doing okay.
Your donations. But yeah, I think we're doing all right, It doesn't sound like we're recording remotely, People don't even know.
You don't even know. It feels like we're in the same room. Okay. As long as y'all don't mind a stray siren or chair noise in the background or, occasionally I slosh my drink around a little bit.
A dog in the hallways, maybe some children bumping around upstairs. I don't know if those things are picked up or not, but... Things that I always am like making faces at Shelby, like as we're recording, like,
sorry.
Is that picking up? And I'm looking down at the audio, like, is that picking up on the audio?
Nah, we'll be all right.
But, we're doing our thing. We're doing our thing.
And it's the holiday season. I don't know about you, but yesterday was the winter, so we're recording on Friday, I think it's the 22nd, but yesterday was the winter solstice.
That's right. It was.
The shortest day of the year, the longest night of the year.
It was a long night. It was a long night.
I have a couple of... It got dark so early. I have a couple of friends, so one of them's birthday was yesterday, and I know someone else whose birthday is today, and I'm just like, ooh, like, that the solstice birthday, like, I feel like there's something to that. It's very, I don't know. It's interesting.
I think that, I have to, like, ponder on that. But, there's always, something to those, like, special kind of portal days and solstice that, those just, this energy. There's an energy about it. And so those people that are born in that energy, have that kind of energy about them. So, very magical.
Did you do anything special? Did you do any solstice rituals, anything like that?
I did not do any solstice rituals. I was on a recording spree.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, no, you kind of did, because you recorded a bunch of meditations.
I did. Well, yeah.
Very cozy about it, too.
I was very cozy. I've been... writing a lot of new meditations lately, and I'm excited about that coming soon. Little plug, the Mercury retrograde.
Business shit,
yes,
right?
The Mercury retrograde meditation is available on the Dreamy Piscean Instagram. If you find the Dreamy Piscean or wherever the Dreamy Piscean is, the link tree, the meditation is there. But I've been writing a lot of new meditations and motivational pieces. I don't know what to call them. Tracks? I don't know.
Christine on the track.
Christine on the track. We out here recording artist.
Track. Yeah.
The meditation track. Meditation recording artist. But no, been doing a lot of that. I did a lot of that yesterday. So it was a vibe. I just, kind of relaxed. I watched a little, TV.
I feel like that's a good thing to do. I feel like solstice is like stay in the house and, I went out on a little date last night.
Yes.
And then we were like going to go out and do another thing afterwards. And I was like, I really just kind of want to go home. Like, it's a long night. It's cold. I said it was cold. It was like kind of rainy, and it's rainy here today too, but it was like 50 degrees in fucking December, which is crazy. But, yeah, I was like, I kind of just want to go like be cozy, and I was in the house all day yesterday. I was still working like a little bit, and I had like a little simmer pot going. I had like my little, little dried oranges, little rosemary, little lavender in there, just like make the house smell good. Like, yeah. That was I was on that shit yesterday on my like witchy like yes, let's bring in the good smells and the cleansing and the all that.
That's very solstice. That's beautiful celebration. Making a nice simmer pot, very cozy. Yes, I love it.
It was good vibes. How's everything else going for you, friend?
Well, you know what? I am 2 days into my break now. I am in day 2 of my break. And I'm trying to just, not... Well, as I just, like, a few minutes ago, was all the way on 10 with Shelby. Like, I was up, y'all. And I was like, we got to bring it back down. Okay, let's bring it back down for the podcast. But I was sharing with her about my week. So it was an interesting week. It's, there were, the enemy is busy. What is it? I told Shelby I've, leaned back into my old spiritual practices.
Christine was over here preaching to me, for me rather, not to me, but like, just giving a full performance, putting her whole chest into this.
Okay, listen, I said I come from a line of preachers now. Listen, it's in me now. It comes out really occasionally. It just comes out with a joint in hand and, maybe some cuss words. But, look, the word is still there.
Sometimes the spirit moves you in all kinds of ways.
Spirit moves. I mean, spirit is spirit. That's why I be trying to tell y'all, like people want to, put a claim on it and, certain religion or whatever.
Were you guys here last week when we were everything is everything, okay? It's all... Hello? It's all this divine energy.
It's all connected. It's all
however it's coming through you. Everything's connected.
So, I leaned back into, so the enemy has been busy.
Yes, indeed.
So, I think people have been trying it. That's all it means. People have been trying it this week and have not been successful. And it's been, somewhat comical, but also a little infuriating.
Yeah.
But that's, we're good now. We're here now. In the break.
On break.
I'm enjoying myself. I'm here with you.
Me, who's probably not helping anything, but
No, we have a great time when we're together. I'm like, it's always good. So, I'm great now. How are you, great. Shelby? How's your week been?
My week's been pretty good. My work week slowed down quite a bit. Like I said, I'm really in the holiday spirit this year. I don't know what the deal is. Like I've been, crafty. I'm not crafty, right? Like that is not my strong suit.
Yes, right.
I'm good with the food,
right? You're our chef.
But I am quite rogue, so I've been trying to, do a little make some little kind of crafty food things to give out as gifts or whatever. So I've been really working on. I made these little jars that I put so I made one that's got like dried pineapple, dried jalapenos, and dried limes. And basically you're supposed to put tequila in it and then like let it infuse. And then I wrote these cute little cards. It's like instructions and then like a little cocktail recipe. And then I made like a bourbon one. I made a little vodka one. I'm like, okay. And I made all these cute little jars. And I'm like, okay, even if you don't want what's in these, the jar is cute and it's a nice little decorative piece or whatever. I'm just like, okay, yeah, like I'm really been on that shit.
I love that.
I've been baking cookies. I restarted my sourdough starter. I'm like, I don't know. I've like really been in the holiday spirit. I went on a cute little date last night. I went and saw some Christmas lights. Yeah, I've really, really been on my like romanticizing the holidays shit. So,
it's very Hallmark. Holiday. Okay. I'm loving this for you. Come on, Hallmark holiday.
Thank you. I'm really like trying to embrace like the fucking corniness of it all. Like I'm really into it this year.
I have a meme related to this later. This
I can't wait. Save it for the relatable content.
Yes.
But I am really curious. I have not. So we're doing a daytime recording today, which is rare for us that we get the opportunity for this.
But we always love it.
I really want to know what my co-star says because I haven't looked at it yet today.
Yes. Okay,
Shall we?
Let's have a look.
Let's have a look. Okay. I'm ready when you are.
Go for it, girl.
All right. So my co-star today says, the way that you speak to yourself matters.
Very true.
It does. I like... My brain is constantly just like, you stupid bitch. Like, and I'm like, no. That's bad. Don't talk to yourself like that. That's not nice. Mm-hmm. Just like, no, it's okay. Like, yeah, just really, that's a hard thing to do, is to hold yourself in that way.
Yes.
So, a message to hear that I always need to hear.
Absolutely. Be kind to yourself. Be gentle with yourself.
Yeah. My do's today. Interesting. Okay. So my do's today include brooches. Oh. So I need like a big gaudy,
Come on, brooch. I used to
like
love a brooch, honestly. I really did. Like as a child too. And my grandmothers, they had brooches and I used to fucking love them. Yeah. I don't know what it is.
What happened to should we bring brooches back?
They did come back for a while in a different way. Not that long ago. Oh man, and I say not that long ago, and it could have been like 10 years ago. I'm like, damn, was that long ago? I guess it was. What was it, 22? Okay, well, but they did come back for a while. Like, I'm gonna have to research it now, but I'm like, the brooches did come back for a while in a different way than like my grandmothers were wearing them, like on their church clothes and whatnot.
Right.
But that people were putting them on like jean jackets and stuff. Like, I'm sorry, denim jackets.
The jeans jacket.
That sounded real 80s. A jean jacket.
I still call it a jean jacket. Do people not call them that anymore?
I don't know. I feel like everyone's like a denim jacket. Denim. But like on bags and stuff, I feel like they were doing something like sometimes with scarves, which kind of still gives old lady, but like
a little.
They were bringing. I'm gonna have to look it up.
Okay,
I'll look it up.
I feel like old lady is very in right now. It's like old lady, sexy grandpa.
Was it the coastal grandmother and all that stuff, and
millennial grandma? Like, yeah, definitely. There's a I was about to say a girl, but she's older than me, like a woman that we used to work with who does some interior design stuff, and she's very coastal grandmother, like, very millennial grandma style, and I think it's not my style, but I do appreciate it,
It is a style. It absolutely is.
Okay, so I'm gonna work on brooches. We're gonna see if we can bring those back again. My other do's include black garlic, which, that's right up my alley.
Yes.
And then something else I don't recognize. Chignon? Let me look this
up. Oh, is that like the hairstyle? Like the
chignon? Maybe?
Now I'm like...
Oh, yes, you're right. It is a hairstyle.
Is that what that is? Okay, yes.
Okay. This is a set. Okay, so I've got my grandma brooch. Got my little... It's like a little low bun kind of thing. Uh-huh. And I'm in the kitchen with some black garlic, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's a vibe.
It's a vibe. I'm into it.
It's a vibe.
My don'ts include moodiness. Don't be moody today. All right. Stockpiles, which, running through our stocks today. And hibernating. So no hibernation.
No naps today.
No.
Okay.
That's sad. I really... could
probably a good day for a nap, right? You said it was raining. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah. Like looking out the window, like, please.
Right, like, I might have to go against that one. I don't know.
That's okay. We'll see. Co-star says no, maybe tomorrow.
Right.
Right. What do you have for us, Christine?
So today, co-star says, it's so hard to say no to anything wonderful.
Is that like the most Piscean one that you've ever had? Yeah. I don't have any self-control.
No.
Absolutely not.
Why would I say something? Why would I say no to something wonderful?
Why would I say no to something that I want that's good?
Right. It feels nice. Why do I have to say no to it?
Makes a lot of sense.
Feels like life right now. So, do taboos.
Ooh, okay.
We're giving me permission.
Not it's giving you permission. No, not you.
Wait. Next level.
Oh, ooh. This is a particular word for Christine, yes.
And
yes.
partners in crime.
Yeah, all right. Well, be careful. You in danger, girl.
I told Shelby before we started recording, I said, I'm in danger. I'm in danger right now.
Christine's heart is in danger.
My heart is in danger.
And what are those don'ts giving today?
Oh, Jane Austen movie. My heart.
Not a Jane Austen.
I'm in Jane Austen. I'm in love. Anyways, don't. Shot in the dark. Nostalgia.
Okay.
No reminiscing today. Okay. And synthetic fabrics. Uh-oh.
Ooh. Okay. Synthetic fabrics. Okay.
No synthetics. Hold on. I'm going to put on my cotton.
Yeah. Put that blanket away. I see it over there.
Right, but all that away.
Blanket. Yeah.
This sweater is very nice, but it did come from Shein, so I know it is synthetic.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. It's a cute sweater, though.
It's very cute. It's very warm. I'm like, oh, it's warmer than I thought it was going to be.
Well, shit. Yeah, those dudes are really giving something for Christine. Oh, you should see the shoulder shimmy, y'all.
Come on, shoulder shimmy.
She's got bad ideas flowing all through her right now.
Bad thoughts.
All right. Well, should we take a quick break and cool off some of those bad thoughts?
Yes. Let me cool down. Cool down.
All right. We will come back with our relatable content in just a minute. Hey, y'all. Welcome back. All right. So it looks like, Christine, you have a bunch of relatable content for us today. And I contributed absolutely nothing to this week's episode. This is a full Christine production. So I'm curious to hear what we've got here.
So just some thoughts really in relatable content. I saw some things, but I saw some things this week.
She's always seeing some things.
Always seeing some things, and thought some things. So really, that's really this. That's maybe more relatable to me this week. I don't know.
Hey, so relatable is relatable.
Relatable is relatable.
Somebody will feel it.
So okay, last weekend I watched for the first time the Barbie movie.
Okay, I just rewatched it for the third time because I'm obsessed with it. So it's like very fresh in my mind. Yeah, I just watched it last week.
Oh my God. I'm going to watch it again probably tonight. Like, I was like, I'm waiting for the weekend, but I'm like, I'm going to watch it again. Like,
it's so cute.
I was telling someone at work about it. But listen, let me tell you, because I had a very Christine experience with this movie. And it's very like Piscean. Now, I had a full cry at the end.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, I was like, I don't know if it was normal, but I cried.
No, the first 2 times I saw it, I cried during that part. The third time, I had taken an edible, and I was like, yeah, I know what happens here. But, like, the first 2 times that I saw it in theaters, I absolutely cried.
Girl, I can't remember what the line was. I'm going to have to go back and, like, pull that line that Ruth said to Barbie. And whatever, there was just one line, and when she said it, I broke. Like, I was like, oh, nope. I'm down. I'm down.
That Billie Eilish song is playing in the background, and you're like, ah.
I was like,
I came to this movie to have a good time. I didn't know.
Cry. I was like, no, y'all did me wrong for this. Y'all did me wrong. So, okay. What I wanted to say about it, though, was this was on the heels of us having this conversation about the Age of Aquarius.
Yes.
And, I'm seeing all these themes coming up in this movie. We're looking at, like, these big ideas like patriarchy, and then like versus feminism, or like extreme feminism, or like, and where does that leave us? Either one or the other. And then really this message at the end that comes to like we have to find value in every in everyone has to have value. And they're like, this is very Age of Aquarius. Like, hello, like, come on, we have to get to this level. We have to elevate. So I was just I was very much vibing on like, oh my God, okay. But very big themes coming up in this movie. It was just great. So like, yeah, I loved it, but also very Age of Aquarius.
Yes.
So yeah, I wanted to mention that.
It's so good. It's okay. Can I just say, first of all, I don't know how Greta Gerwig, the director, like, first of all, she did a phenomenal job of the entire thing, but I don't know how Mattel as a corporation let her get away with so much of it.
I know.
Like, they're like, you know, especially like when they're in the fucking Barbie boardroom and it's all men.
Yes.
And she's like, you know, there's like a whole running joke about Will Ferrell just being like I am the son of a woman. Like, I'm just like, okay, no, but like put some women in your fucking boardroom or something. Like,
right.
I don't know how there's so many little like digs at capitalism and at, you know, the corporation as a whole, but it's like still got this really positive message. I'm like very confused at how she like held all these ideas in one movie and still made it like a cute, feel good, like, I don't know. I'm just very impressed with her, but
so impressed because I was like, oh, this is talking about some things. I was like, oh, okay, this is talking about some stuff in this movie. And that's, I mean, you usually get that, like, it's like the movies, you know, that are geared towards children. They always have this like element that like adults, like themes that are happening that kids just don't pick up on, or you're just like, oh, I'm just watching this cute, you know, pink movie and it's Barbie and she's dancing and her friends, you know, and something happens, you know. So they follow like this, you know, very overarching basic plot line, like then we get all this other nuance. And so the nuance was great. I was like, oh, yes, okay.
So, yes, I loved all the nuance. I'm obsessed with the Barbie movie. I was such a fucking Barbie girl as a kid. Like, I loved Barbies. I had Barbies. So many of them.
Yes.
So I think that was two things. One, I'll say this very funny thing, and then I will say this more serious thing. I saw a couple of memes where people said the only thing that was missing, because, like, you know, they have the weird Barbie and they have the, you know, all that.
Yeah, I love Weird Barbie.
Weird Barbie was Kate McKinnon as Weird Barbie does such a great job. The only thing that was missing from the Barbie movie as far as authenticity was no Barbies scissored in this movie. Nobody was like smashing the plastic parts of the Barbies together at any point. So, you know, that I saw that and I was just like, wow, that hit a little too close to home. Thanks. Thank you very much. Okay, moving on.
You know, they couldn't put all the things. They couldn't put all the things in.
It's still for children. No, anyway, that fucking cracked me up when I saw it. I was like, I don't know who said that first, but it made me laugh really hard. The other thing that I was thinking about more in the lines of, you know, the Age of Aquarius and kind of these bigger meta conversations that we're having is, it's like, okay, so we spent all this time last week talking about how, like, a lot of the systems that we're, like, working under will have to break down in order for us to, like, make progress and that sort of thing. And the movie kind of shows that, right? It's like, okay, yes, we have to break down the system in order for it to, like, work for everyone. And so I appreciated that it showed that, but at the same time, this is a movie made by a corporation. It's like the most subversive advertising that you can think of. And, like, I've been just thinking about how, like, most of AI technology and all these, like, amazing technologies that we're coming up with right now are all being kind of used for these sort of insidious purposes. Like, we're all, like, the amount of money that Mattel made off of this movie and after this movie and, like, the Barbie sale, like, the second I saw this movie, I was like, I need a President Issa Rae Barbie. Like,
okay, I was like, first of all, I didn't even know Issa was in the movie. I'm like, how did I miss that?
You didn't know that?
I didn't know. I was like, Issa's in here. Yes, she's the president.
One of my favorite parts in the entire movie is the very end when they're, like, coming back to all the Kens are, like, coming back to the Barbie dream house.
Yeah.
And she's walking down the Barbie dream house steps and she goes, "This is our dream house, motherfucker." And then they bleep it out with the Mattel sign. I'm just like, I love Issa so much. She was perfect in that role, and she doesn't like do a ton in the movie, but it was just enough. It was just the right amount, you know. Anyway, so yeah, I'm like, here I am, just like, I fucking loved this movie, but at the same time, I think we all have to recognize that this is, like, really insidious capitalism, like, infecting our brains and being like, buy more things, support our company. Our company is good.
See, look
at what
us.
We're doing.
Look at this great movie we just made. Like, see how we're about empowering everyone. Blah blah.
Yeah. So anyway, those are my thoughts about that. In case anyone wanted to know, surprise, surprise, Shelby is bringing it all back to how terrible capitalism
And
is.
still there. I will say also, just another side note on the movie, I really liked the Ken song, the I'm just Ken.
I'm
just Ken. Anywhere else I'd attend. I was like, yes!
Okay, did you know Ryan Gosling did not, they like approached him about playing Ken, and he originally said no because he didn't think he would do a good job. But he is
He's
perfect
so
as
great
Ken.
as Ken.
Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Barbie. I was like, he was so, just hurt by her. He just wanted her attention so bad, and this whole thing about, Ken can only shine in, the gaze. I was like, oh, Lord.
Barbie has a good day every day, but Ken only has a good day if Barbie looks at it. Yeah. TikTok after that movie came out was so funny for a while because it was just all the little Barbie sounds. When she's like, yeah, it's Barbie's dream house, it's not Ken's dream house, and he's like, oh, right as always. I've seen this movie way too many times. I could literally quote it to you.
Oh my God.
It's kind of ridiculous.
But
anyway,
I'm
glad that you watched it. I'm glad you had a good time.
Yes, it was a great time. I was in here having a ball. So, on the note of the Age of Aquarius and another movie, have you seen or heard about this movie on Netflix called Leave the World Behind?
Is this the animated movie? Or is this something else?
No, I think this is a movie. Who's in it? I think Ethan Hawke, Julia Roberts, Mahershala Ali, Kevin Bacon.
Oh, this is a stacked cast. Okay. I have not heard of this.
Okay, so I saw this article, this post by the New York Post. So it says, why Leave the World Behind viewers think the Obamas are sending a warning with the movie. So apparently the Obamas are involved with making of this movie. But the general plot is that there's a family on vacation at a rental house on Long Island who get interrupted by strangers showing up amid a mysterious blackout and technology glitches. And so both the families have to work together to decide how to survive as technology such as phones and television break down and airplanes start crashing.
Oh.
So, okay. In the movie, the characters have various theories for what's causing the unsettling events. That it's the work of hackers. That it's a government conspiracy. That the U.S. is at war with rogue forces using radiological weapons to make people turn against each other. All these theories or whatever. So, basically, I guess, without reading the whole article, so I guess with their involvement in their, it's is this a warning sign to us about the things that are coming, with technology? And again, we're talking about Age of Aquarius and how the technology is affecting us all as a whole and as a community, as society, as a global community.
Right.
These, the things that can happen with technology, which, occasionally I think about it and I try not to think about too much how dependent we are on technology at this point.
So extremely dependent on technology. It's kind of wild.
Yeah, and you're like, ooh, what are we gonna do? What would we do if we were somewhere, especially out of town, and technology fails? And what do? You have no phones, you have nothing. You're just out here. What we doing? I was just having that thought. I forgot to tell you this. I think I'm booking myself a little vacation for February, but I was just thinking about, the thought crossed my mind of what if you're in a foreign country and you don't have access to technology? How do you get around? What do you don't know the area? What do you do? Yeah.
And it all comes down to then you're forced to connect with the people around you, and then we all become reliant on each other, and it's that's very Age of Aquarius, right?
Yeah.
Kind of.
But even just thinking about how technology is used to attack as attack now as well. And so thinking about just how, I don't know, just all of that kind of just is like, So, but what are y'all trying to say?
Right.
What is happening?
Why did you put your money behind this particular movie? I'm assuming
What's
that's
going
their
on?
connection to it.
Right.
Is that they like funded it or that kind of thing, but
yes. But I'm like,
scary.
oh, interesting. Now, I haven't seen the movie yet, but I'm like, well, maybe I'll watch it because, it just seems interesting now that I see it. But yeah, that's, very Age of Aquarius. Just, how is this technology being used and how is it affecting us?
Yeah. Ugh, that's scary. I'm one of those things that I can't think about too much without having an existential crisis.
I know. We're trying to come out of the existential crisis of last week. So, all right. we will move on.
We'll get there.
So, that's that on the Age of Aquarius. So, on the lighter note, I have a little Pisces moment of the week.
Oh, we haven't done Pisces moment of the week in a while. I can't wait. Please tell me what it is.
So long. So I told you, before I was a little in danger, my little heart. So I was, texting with a friend of mine, and we're just, saying, our little holiday. Hope, your holiday is peaceful, blah, 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 blah. And so, he had said something, that was very sweet in his text. And a song started playing in my head. And
she's romanticizing her life, girl, so hard right now.
So the Pisces rose up. It was just, it was right there. It was Selena. I Could Fall in Love.
Of course, it was Selena.
And I was like, you'll appreciate that it was Selena.
I understand why it was Selena. Yeah.
But it was just funny it was funny that it was that song as well, because it's like, it's not that I, when I see this person, I think like,
yeah.
But it's just funny, like, oh, that's the song that came up, but I'm like, that song was so, yeah. That song really affected me back in the day. Listen, first of all, Black people fuck with Selena. Okay?
Of course. I think everybody Selena is universal. I don't know anybody who
that movie,
especially, yeah. You know what? Okay, so I know you know this about me. Like, I went to kindergarten through 8th grade in a Spanish immersion school.
Yes.
And so that's how I learned Spanish. And so I had a lot of wonderful teachers from several different, like, South American, Central American countries, one from Spain. I swear to God, if we were having a day especially in middle school, really by the time, like, 5th grade on, if we were having a day where you could tell the teacher didn't want to do shit, or it was, like, a half day or whatever, you know what they put on? They put on the fucking Selena movie. Yes! They put on the Selena movie. I watched that movie so many times in school with the lights off, like, just sitting at a desk. I remember, like, the scene where she gets shot in that movie. Yeah. Spoiler alert. Hopefully everybody knows that happens because it's a biopic. Like, come on. Right. The scene where that happens is, like, burned into my brain because I remember being like the whole time I'm like, is this a PG-13 movie? Are we allowed to be watching? Like, should we be watching this right now?
It's not you were questioning, like, should we be able to see this? Should you show this to me in school?
I've been having those thoughts since I was, like, 6. Just like, I'm a child. I don't think you should show this to me.
You should show me this. Like, girl, that movie.
I mean,
had me, like, in a chokehold. I mean, just every time. I would watch that movie all the time. Every time it was on TV.
And it was on TV so much.
It was on TV all the time. And I'm sitting here crying every time. Every time. Deeply affected by that.
If you have not seen the Selena movie, that's where J-Lo got her start. I mean, I think she had done some things before that, actually.
But
she
took her up there.
She does a great job. She's always been a actress, singer, girly. Like,
She's been doing her thing for a long time. But just... So that song came into my head, and I was just like, "Oh no, Christine, we've got to pull back. It's, no, we can't be falling in love. No.
I had a similar moment the other day, so I didn't have a planned Pisces moment of the week, but I can't remember if I told you about this. I think I might have, because you mentioned a friend of yours talking about rewinding a song to go back to the part that hurts them the most.
Yes.
I had a moment the other day where I was home alone. I was getting ready to go out, and so I was like in a pretty good mood. It was also like TMI for the audience, but it was like the week before I started my period, so it was like that's always like you can always tell when like the emotions get a little raw. You're like, what is going on? Oh, I see what's happening here. So I'm sitting in my room. I'm like getting ready to go out. I'm putting my makeup on. I'm sitting in front of the mirror. I've got some jams playing or whatever.
Come on, jams.
And it's just kind of shuffling through, and this fucking song comes on, and I'm like I'm in a good mood. This fucking song comes on, and I just I'm like hearing the lyrics to the song as though I've never heard them before, and I just immediately started just like crying. I'm just like, oh my god, I cannot do this right now. I've literally got makeup on one side of my face. What the fuck am I doing? But then I was like, you know what? I'm in it. I'm here. I'm gonna have to wipe this off and start over anyway. So I rewound it 4 times and was like, get it out, get it. Like, listen to it, cried, listen to it, cried some more, listen to it, cried some more, and then finally by the 3rd time I was like, okay, I think we're done here. And I turned it off, and I wiped off my makeup, and I started over, and then I just I think I put on some Dua Lipa or something, and was like, all right, we're back.
Listen, I mean, music, like, it's strange to me sometimes when I meet people that are not affected by music in that way, because music is like really evokes like emotion in that way. Like, it was funny, when I was working on these meditation pieces, finding these different audio tracks. And so there was a track that I found, and I was like, this is really familiar. And I realized, like, this is a track that they used to use at a church I used to go to, like, some of the, like, when they would talk about, like, the mission trips and things like that. And I'm like, this is interesting to put this music, because the way it drives your emotion towards the thing that you're seeing, and it's like this very like uplifting and happy, and I was like, oh, okay, I see how this was working. Like, as I listened to the music, I was like, interesting. So yeah, I mean, it's just interesting how music works in that way. Just like
and I know you and I have talked about this some off mic. I don't know how much I've shared on the podcast, but I'll just like say it, because it's been a real journey for me, and I feel like it's not this way for everybody, but like I was on birth control for probably 10 years. And, I've always, like, music has always been a big part of my life. My dad is a musician. Like, I grew up around music. Like, I've always loved the variety of different kinds of music and all that kind of thing. And, like, the last few years that I was on birth control, it's like, there's no way for me to understand it other than it's correlated with the birth control. Like, I was on it. I, like, didn't hear music the same way, and then I got off of it, and it was, like, a process of, like, I'm hearing music differently, I'm, like, smelling things. It's, like, it really affected my sensory system, and in a lot of ways, and I don't think that it does that for everyone, but it was a huge deal for me to get off of it and just be like, oh my god, I feel like I have my whole personality back, and I'm, like, being affected by music in ways, like, I've always listened to like, throughout, I was listening to music, but I wasn't, like, active in looking for new music. I wasn't like it just wasn't like touching me in the same way that it does now, and I'm back to that. I'm like, yeah, this is who I am. Like, this is the like deeply Piscean, and it's also part of it was like it's all kind of wrapped up in my Saturn return, and like a lot of other things happening for me at this juncture. As if you're a longtime listener of the podcast, you know what my life is like.
Been on
but yeah, I'm just like, and now I'm just like, I can't believe that I went so much of several years not really feeling music the way that I used to, and thought that was normal, because now I'm just like, everything affects me so deeply. Like, yeah, I don't know, it's crazy.
Wow.
Anyway,
so, I always think that's interesting to hear that those, like, I mean, when you share things like that, because as a person who's never taken birth control, like, so when I hear people share about, like, coming off of it and, like, how they felt on it versus off of it and all that. That just, it's just always very fascinating and interesting to me because, like, just by some random, I don't even know, it was not ever planned that I would never took it. I just never started
just never
taking
happened.
it.
Yeah.
And it
never
just,
happened.
nothing, just, we've just been,
and
I
feel complicated about it because, like, I'm really grateful for it for the years that I had it because, it allowed me to, like, get, I don't know that I would have made it through college and a master's degree in this. Just, like, I don't know that I would have had the focus. Like, I just, because now I'm just, like, basically just, like, I don't know. It's also just been a couple of years where I'm just, like, I'm really getting back in tune with my own emotions and, like, understanding my own body.
Yeah.
And, like,
your own, like, rhythms and...
Yeah. And so, like, maybe I just would have done that sooner had I not been on it. But also, like, very well might have had a baby that I did not, want to have at that time. Like,
yes.
So it's just, I feel complicated about it. I think it served its purpose, but I am very grateful to not be on it anymore.
Yeah.
So, and I really wish that, like, I mean, even at the time, I wouldn't have understood the consequences probably, but, like, I wish that healthcare professionals talked more openly about the consequences of that. Like, I even talked to, I've had several doctors who I talked to about going off of it while I was still on it, and they were like, oh, well, no, like, you shouldn't be having those kinds of side effects. Like, I felt very dismissed by it. It's a whole, and I think now I've more recently, it seems like there's more people talking about, side effects and that sort of thing and symptoms. And I think they're starting to do more research on it, but, like, it's just women's healthcare. Like, they do not give a fuck about the effects as long as it's giving you the intended outcome. Like, I could soapbox about that all day. I won't because it's not what this podcast is about. But, like,
we could definitely go.
Yeah. Anyway. So Piscean moment of the week.
There you go, y'all. It was all very Piscean. Okay, so I just have a couple little relatable things, just two really.
Give it to us
real quick. Ain't nothing to do at my house but pay bills, so don't ask to come over.
Now, okay, I have mixed feelings because part of me is like, yeah, if you're really my friend, we can be in the same room and just do nothing together.
Yes.
Okay? Like, we can just sit here and chill and not say shit. But also, if you want to come over and pay my bills, you're welcome to come over anytime.
I tell you, that it felt really relatable. First of all, it sounds like something an old black person would say. It's just an old black person, not
somebody's mom is like...
Yeah, somebody's grandmama. Like, ain't nothing to do but pay bills over here. So don't come over here running up my light bill. It's always about the light bill. It comes back to light bill. So if you come over here, you're going to turn the TV on. You're going to want to do stuff. You're gonna, be active. Just stay on over there.
Nope. No, thank you.
Nothing to do over here.
Sit here in the dark.
There's nothing to do over here. So that just was giving I was just like, oh, it's the holidays. The old black people are coming out. It's like, ain't nothing to do. I was like, okay, that was very relatable. Okay?
Right now, okay?
Listen,
Money's tight.
It's tight. You know what it is. Now, on the notes of coming back to Hallmark, Ashley Nicole Black.
Oh, I love her.
Yes. This is just the first part of the meme, the thread of memes, but it was just great. That was enough for me. She said, one day I'm going to write a reverse Christmas movie about a girl who goes home to the big city and discovers that her career is more important than her relationship.
I actually would watch the fuck out of that.
Okay.
I really would. Speaking of which, sorry, this is a hard tangent. I watched, so I am not a Christmas movie person, for real. I really don't, this is very non-Piscean of me. I don't really care for rom-coms particularly. Like, I will watch them if someone's like, hey, this one's really good. Like, recently I've had a couple people be like, oh yeah, we should watch this. And I'm like, okay. So like the Hallmark Christmas movie, Lifetime Christmas movie, all that. Like, it's not really my vibe. But I know that the people love it. So I had a friend over the other day, and we were just like eating snacks and watching Christmas movies or whatever, and she was like, oh, apparently Netflix has a Lindsay Lohan Christmas movie from last year, I think. And she was like, oh, we should watch this. And I was like, okay. But it was very much giving Lifetime Christmas. It was really bad, but also like really funny. And also I love Lindsay Lohan. I want to see her doing well.
Okay, we still be rooting for you, girl. We still rooting for you.
Of course. Of course. She's looking good. She's looking much better. I think she's off the hard drugs.
There we go.
You know.
Keep it going.
Yeah. It was a cute little I enjoy. I won't say it was a good movie, but I enjoyed watching it.
Yeah. Yes. Sometimes it's like that. I enjoyed it. It wasn't good, but I enjoyed it.
But it was absolutely like,
I was entertained.
I fell in love with a man, and I don't care about my job anymore. Like,
It's just always very strange. I'm like, how did she leave her job though? Like everyone's always asking.
Can you afford
to do just that? Leave? just quit. What are you gonna do for work now? Like in this small town, is he taking care of you? So now we go under his care.
Okay, well, just know what that means. You always gotta give.
So now he has control. Like the feminists rise up. Like, hold on now, no,
be careful.
You better have some on the side now. Hold on, you got the nest egg over here. What's happening? I'm scared.
I hope you got a severance package from your job or something at the bare minimum. The bare minimum.
Okay. Can't just be over. Okay. Anyways, yes. The holiday movies, just, my mom is a Hallmark Channel girl, like all the time. So that she likes the wholesome content. She does not really get into anything else. And it's interesting for me. Wholesome movies, I can't. It's just too wholesome for me. I'm like, the world is not like this. And me as a Pisces saying this.
Right. If you're the one that's taking the rose-colored glasses off, like, that's how you know it's bad. Like, yeah. I don't know. I'm just, like, I'm very picky about movies. Like, I'll watch a movie if you tell me you like it, and, if you're like, I think you would, enjoy this or whatever. But otherwise, like, there's a lot of movies that I've missed. I've only ever seen, like, weird, random ones. Like, yeah. It's
just very interesting. I mean, and my mom, again, is a Libra, so we got the idealism.
The romance.
Come on, we both got a little bit. But she, you know, so she gets into that, but we jointly get into Jane Austen, and she got me into Jane Austen. So now, we've been doing that for years. But yeah, we're like very Pride and Prejudice. We've seen every version that exists.
Why does everybody's mom love Pride and Prejudice? Okay, like
Mr. Darcy. Like,
yeah,
everyone's hoping for their Mr. Darcy.
Now, I will say though, so my mom watched it, and then you also got me on Downton Abbey is fucking good.
Oh yeah,
okay?
Downton Abbey.
It's so good.
Yes,
it's way.
absolutely.
I don't know what the fuck I thought it was. But it is so good. It is so good. Yes. I actually just remembered that I need to go back to that because I watched like 2 seasons in like 3 days one time because you were like, oh yeah. I think it was the first time I had COVID. I just watched.
It's a great time to get into
all the way through.
You're down.
Yeah, anyway, you're down. I'm gonna have to get back to that at some point. So
Downton Abbey is great. I think I watched. Well, I watched one of the movies not that long ago, but then the other movie is now the most recent movie is available, and I've been saving it, so I'll be watching that over the break. I'm very excited.
Yes.
Like I'm just love a Downton Abbey production.
Love it. Love to see it.
So yeah, that's all I got for relatable content,
All right. Well, do we want to take a quick break and then come back with our meets today?
Let's do it, girl. All right, we're back. I don't know what just flew, like literally.
I saw that happen. I was like, I don't know what's going on with Christine's face right now. It's like a bug or something.
I don't know what just flew, but woo. Something, yeah. All right.
Flew.
Something flew across my face.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. We are here for the meets.
The meets.
So, I don't think we shared what we were talking about today, but we are doing our astrology adjacent topics today.
Yes.
And so we are getting into tarot.
Ooh, I love. We haven't done a little astrology adjacent episode in a while. I love these. I love. I mean, we're into all the hippy dippy ass shit, like, all the woo, whatever it is.
We are Pisces.
I won't say all. I do have some. I draw the lines that when it starts to get too culty.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but we're both very susceptible. So
I'm very susceptible. Certain, certain cults are my vibe. I'm like, oh my god, I would vibe with that.
I see how you got sucked in, right? I see exactly.
I see how that happened. I see how you got in there. The problem is when I start notice, I'm like, well, wait a minute now. I don't want to be in this anymore. And when I can't get out, that's an issue.
That's the problem. I need my freedom.
I need my freedom. I don't like to be trapped.
My Aquarius, Venus, and Mars are both just like, nope, get me out of here.
Yeah, you start trying to control me, like, hold on, control. I don't like control. Dipping and dodging, like, oh, no.
Don't make me commit to anything.
Feels like control. Oh, no. Gotta get away from it. So,
but tarot is not one of those things. I'm all in for the tarot.
Yes, we're here for the tarot. So I pulled a card for us for this episode, and I've had it sitting here on the computer. So I'm going to show it to you. Hopefully you can actually see it. But nope, it's going to be. Oh, can you see it? It is the Wheel of Fortune.
Oh, it's the Wheel of a very Vanna White.
It's very Vanna White. It's very. So the Wheel of Fortune, since we're here. The Wheel of Fortune talks about the changing, right, in your fortune. Now, the fortune can be changing in the positive or it can be changing in the negative. So usually it's changing in the direction that's opposite of where, you've been. So if you've been in, like, more of, like, whatever way down, you'll be going up. If you've been kind of up, you might be going down. So... now that's for us to find out.
What does that mean for us as a podcast?
I don't know. I don't know that we've been down, but we could still be going up.
We've been steady. I'll say that. I feel like we've been pretty steady. So maybe we're going to have some sort of exponential movement.
Yeah. So I feel like it's a very positive. Also, the card was, facing or up.
It was upright.
Upright. Not facing down. And so... that's usually a positive, Okay. So, I think I took it as a good sign. That's our reading for the podcast.
Yes.
The Wheel of Fortune. It's a great card. Okay. So, let's get into the tarot.
Let's get into it.
Let's talk a little history here. Mm-hmm. So, tarot has its origins in Renaissance Italy.
Oh, that makes so much sense just based on...
what the decks look like.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the cards originated around the 15th century in northern Italy as playing cards. Okay. So they were initially created for the wealthy elite to play a trick-taking game called Tarocchi. Tarocchi. So over time, tarot evolved from a game into a tool for divination, and so it gained popularity around the 18th century.
Okay. Okay.
And so then French occultists such as Antoine Comte de Gibelin. Hold on, Gibelin?
Did you take French?
I did take French a little bit. Hold on. I gotta get it together. Don't mess it up. Anyways, we're gonna move on. He links tarot to ancient Egyptian mysticism.
Just like a colonialist country to bring those two things. Just take something that's not yours and make it yours. I own this now.
Actually, So,
but, aren't we all?
Okay. As history, this is what history does, right? We just see it throughout time. In 1909, artist Pamela Coleman Smith collaborated with A.E. Waite to create the Rider-Waite tarot deck. And the Rider-Waite deck is the one that, is the one, right? Like the one tarot deck that, the standard of all the decks.
Okay.
The Rider-Waite. So this deck, with its vivid imagery and symbolism, became iconic and influenced modern tarot interpretations. So it's the one.
Okay.
Have you seen this deck? Do you have a copy of it?
I don't have a copy of this deck. Should I, let me do a quick Google so I can just see what it looks like. But I didn't realize that there was, of course I have seen this.
The one that looks like the old school deck, like the one that you generally think of. Mm-hmm.
I didn't know there was a specific name for it, but that's good to know.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. So now that you know that imagery that is the Rider-Waite deck. So I don't actually own the Rider-Waite deck either, and I own several tarot decks.
Yeah.
So it is one of the things I'm like, I would like to not purchase it. I would like to come into ownership in a different way, which, typically, we probably will talk about this at some point, but typically you want to receive your first deck from someone rather than purchase it. Yeah. Huh. Now, I did purchase mine, but that's typically so like the tradition. Yeah.
I didn't realize that, but my first deck was gifted to me. So
see? There you
go. Yeah. I like
that.
This.
Yes. So yeah, just a little, tip of the tray there.
Tip of the tray.
So, tarot experienced a surge in interest during the late 19th and early 20th centuries with the broader occult revival. And then we have figures like Aleister Crowley develops their own tarot decks, adding esoteric dimensions.
Ooh, we love the esoteric.
We got to take it to the esoteric. Hold on.
Yeah.
The thing left me again. So now come a little closer in our history. Then we have the 1960s and the 1970s saw tarot gaining popularity in mainstream culture. So, those, our hippy dippy times. They're like, what is this little practice? And they're doing all the esoteric things back then, right?
It's so interesting how, these esoteric practices just, come, basically fall in and out of fashion. Just, 60s and 70s, and then they were back out. Now they're, completely back in again. And it's just, it's so interesting how things cycle that way. And
you think about, astrology was right there in that as well. And so, we're all into horoscopes. All the new age shit. And so now everything's back again.
So interesting.
It's very, yes. So, it became associated with New Age spirituality, psychology, and self-reflection. So, there was a lot of, people doing inner work as well. Again, where a lot of things are cycling back. So, today, we have a vast array of tarot decks, each with unique themes and artistic styles. And tarot has transcended its historical roots, embracing diverse interpretations and cultural influences.
Okay. Interesting.
And I definitely have seen that. I think that's probably why I have so many different tarot decks. Not particularly the Rider-Waite deck, but I found some others that just kind of, called to me. So I think I enjoy collecting them too. I have I don't know how many decks I have, tarot and oracle decks, and I'm like, yes, it's I have a little issue collecting things.
You made a deck at one point, didn't you?
I have made 4 decks.
I was gonna say, you definitely have,
not tarot decks, but I have 2 affirmation decks. I have an oracle deck, and then I have a mindfulness with plant deck, which is a thing that I created. It goes with a journal and a whole series I have on Instagram. But yes,
another plug for Christine's other side businesses.
Little stuff that I do. But I very much enjoy making them. I've got some in my heart to do more, but they're also very pricey to produce, right? So you got
to get those pre-orders in.
Okay, got to get them pre-orders because them things are. You'd be like, How much? Oh my goodness, clutch my pearls. So anyways, tarot continues to thrive as a tool for self-discovery, reflection, and guidance. And it's used by individuals of various spiritual beliefs.
That's for sure.
Various spiritual beliefs. And as a source of inspiration in literature, art, and popular culture. So, in essence, the history of tarot is a fascinating journey from playing cards in the Renaissance Italy to now a versatile tool for introspection and divination in the 21st century.
I'm really curious about the game that they started.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what is this game? Like, how did you start playing it? How did that, we kind of have the who, but it's like, what made them think that this game now is sort of a source of...
Right. Right. What became the connection, or how did they find, or maybe someone studied the imagery or something and was like, hey, this is related to this thing over here. Right. Actually, this looks like a lot like this Egyptian stuff over there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Idea?
Interesting.
So interesting to me. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, I think we were going to take a little bit of a break here, but do you want to just keep going and give us a little information about what a reading is like before we do that?
Yeah. So, people, there's always these conceptions or misconceptions of what is this reading like? I mean, I think about when I was younger and you would watch these movies and it was this little house and this little old lady and it's behind this little
crystal
curtain
ball.
She's got a crystal ball and she's got some cards and it's all this ooh, it's very woo woo and what's gonna happen. It's very mysterious, like she's gonna give you that death card and you're gonna die on the spot or something. What's gonna happen, people make you feel really afraid, again, coming from a Christian household and
right, of course,
oh my goodness, a tarot reading. Oh my God,
Yeah. What do the cards say about your faith? Yeah, no, it's really. I will just as a quick aside, the first time I have a deck and I did a card reading for someone else one time and they were like, that's it? You're not gonna interpret it for me? And I was like, well, I'm gonna give you these cards and tell you what they mean, but that it's up to you to I'm not. Mm-hmm. It's up to you to decide how this applies to your own life.
Yes,
it's all very...
Yes, I think there's people have to understand you have psychics, you have people who have...
I'm not a medium, okay?
Right.
I'm just giving you the tools.
Right. She's look, now I'm reading the cards.
Right.
But I am not a psychic. Now, some people also read cards and are psychic. And so then they may have some different interpretations, or mediums may have some different connections to give you additional information, but you have to know again who you are working with, right? And so just because you're at a tarot reading does not mean that you are also working with a medium or a psychic.
Exactly.
And so that is a great thing to note in what is reading like.
Right. Yeah, there you go.
There are a lot of people with a lot of different skills, right? If I give you astrology reading, I am not I am not saying I have seen anything. I'm working with what this says right here. This is a map. I'm reading the map.
Yes,
and
exactly.
So tarot's kind of similar in that way. We're reading this map. Okay, this is the information that's presenting itself. Mm-hmm. Now, how that applies to your life is for you to put together.
That is
exactly.
Up to you.
Mm-hmm. So, experiencing a tarot reading can be a pretty unique and personal journey, with the atmosphere and insights varying based on the reader, the setting, and your individual perspective. So, you could come to a reading at my house, and it'd be this, a reading. You could go to a reading at a shop or someone's place of business. It might look like a therapy office, It might not look like the crystal shop, but it might be the crystal shop.
Speaking of that, I really love so my personal therapist is open to astrology and that sort of thing, but I think if that is your vibe, I love a therapist that will bring those tools in to therapeutic setting, because it's like, okay, you're working with what I believe, and also these things are about self-reflection, and
absolutely,
they're up for interpretation, but yeah.
Yes. And it still works within that therapy model again, because therapy again is not about, the therapist telling you what to do, or they're supporting you, and you helping you with making your decisions, but you are making your choices, and the choices always are yours. And so
exactly,
in the same way, like Tarot's like, look, this is just what this says. Now what you do with this again is your business.
That is none of my business.
It's not my business what you do with it. You came to me, I read you what this said.
Yeah.
This is what the spirit said. This is what the card said. Hey, take it
or leave it. Or leave it. Right.
So but what you can expect is a welcoming atmosphere, right? So your tarot readers are often going to create a calm and welcoming environment, help you feel at ease. So this might include soft lighting. You might have some soothing music, or some personal touches to enhance the experience, right? And it's going to vary again, person to person.
Yes. And I feel like if you walk in somewhere and you don't feel comfortable, or you don't get, maybe that's not the person for you. Yeah, you should. Yeah, you should listen to how you feel about that. The vibes are off.
Yeah, the vibes are off. We're Pisces. We know about that. The vibes are off. Yeah. We're out.
Sure do. Sure do.
Not coming, actually. The vibes are off. So you can also expect, to establish a connection with the reader. So this is a pretty crucial part. Like, just like going to a therapist or counselor, you want to have a good rapport.
Yes.
Yes.
So important. The connection. Yeah.
Again, like we said, if the vibes are off, if you get in there and it's like, not really feeling this person, it's okay to say, I'm just kind of not feeling this. You want that connection to be there. So they're going to ask you some things about your background, what your intention for the session is, and any specific questions you might have.
I think that is such a key. I think that was one thing that I learned about readings, about card pulls, and about therapy, is you have to know what you want when you get there. Like, you have to be, you have to, like, have an intention, or like,
what is your intention?
You can't just go in and be like, all right, tell me about my life, because that's always how I would be. It's just like, okay, well, tell me about myself. It's like, well, no, what do you want out of this?
Right.
You kind of have to be intentional about it. Yeah.
Absolutely. That I don't even have to. Yeah, you said it all there. It's just, that was perfect. Like, you have to. I would just be repeating back what you just said.
No, it matters. The intention
really
is
does.
important.
It's very important. So open communication is going to help the reader attune to your energy and tailor the reading accordingly, right? So, like, again, like, not just going in and like, oh, well, tell me. It's like, well, nope, I need you to talk to me. Like, again, not a psychic, not a medium, not coming in like, oh, I see this.
You have to do some of the work,
right? Like, this is a joint, situation. So the next thing you're going to experience is the shuffling and the card selection, right? Like, you get the cards out. So the reader may ask you to shuffle the cards. So that's going to infuse those cards with your energy. So they might ask you to touch them. They might ask you to shuffle them. In some way, you're going to put your energy on the cards. So then that, the connection with the cards is with you and not the reader's energy.
Right.
So you may be invited to cut the deck or choose cards randomly, contributing to a sense of personal involvement in the reading, right? We want you to be involved.
Yeah.
Now, as the cards are revealed, sorry, hold on. It's like, okay. The reader is going to interpret the symbolism and the relevance to your questions or life situation, right? So then they may explore themes of the past, present, and future, and provide insights to potential paths and outcomes. So that's kind of that information you're going to get. Now, the next piece is that you're going to have interactive dialogue, right? So again, this is not just me telling you about this, but you're going to be also giving the reader back some information. So there's often a dialogue. They're going to encourage you to share your thoughts, feelings, or provide additional context. So that's going to give them more to go on. You give them something, they're like, oh, well, this is these themes also. So, okay, now that you said that, also there's this. So it helps them give you a more accurate reading if you're going to give them some information.
You got to be a little bit vulnerable. You got to share a little.
So your input is going to help refine that interpretation and ensure the reading resonates with your actual experiences. So again, these readings aren't deterministic. Rather, they empower you to make informed decisions. So again, this isn't about telling you your future.
Yes, exactly.
It's providing you with some insight on directions, on some guidance. This is what we talk about. Guidance. Yes. So the insights gained during your reading are going to serve or can serve as a catalyst for self-reflection, personal growth, and navigating challenges. And so a reputable reader is going to respect your privacy and confidentiality. This is important always. And you're encouraged to share only what you're comfortable with, and any discussions remain confidential.
Okay, the more that we talk about it, the more I'm just like, yeah, the people in this sort of field are so similar to counselors and therapists. Like, it's there's so much overlap, because like a reputable one should care about making you comfortable, should care about the relation, like, the connection, just everything you just said. Like, privacy should be key. You should feel safe with this person. You should, know that they're not going to just share your business with literally anybody.
Yes.
That's ethics matter in
ethics.
This.
Come on now. Across the board. Like
exactly. And I think not enough people hold that into account, I think. But you said reputable, and not all are reputable.
Not everybody is reputable. Okay, check the background, get a reference, something like a review. Talk to somebody, word of mouth, something. Yes. Call a mom, call a friend. I don't know. So different readers again are going to have their own distinct styles and approaches, or use specific spreads, and those are the card layouts. And that's going to be tailored to their expertise or the nature of your question. So like some things, like some people know certain spreads for, like everybody's not going to have all the fancy spreads and different, stuff. That's kind of, it's not fluff, but it's also not necessary.
Right. Exactly.
Always.
You can just, half the time when I'm doing one for myself or for a friend, it's just like, here's the cards, just pick one that calls to you. It's it's not anything special.
Yes, and so those are nice things, and they can be, a person that's very experienced probably has a lot of that in their deck, in their toolbox. But just know, like, everybody won't do a 16 card spread every time you come or whatever. Like, it's just depending on what you're doing.
Exactly.
So in essence, all of this, a tarot reading is going to be a collaborative and introspective experience. There's going to be a little mysticism in there, right? Just a little bit.
Of course.
Some psychological insights. And it's going to offer a unique lens through which you can explore your own journey and gain perspective on various aspects of your life. So that's the reading.
That's the reading.
That's the reading.
Are you ready for your first tarot reading if you've never had one before?
Are you ready? So, demystify some of it, right? Like, so it's not this, like, I mean, it can be very woo-woo, just depending on who your reader is. Again, like, if you like woo-woo. If that's
their vibe.
Then go to the woo-woo reader. If you like something that's more straightforward, there are people that are, can give you a more, just cut and dry, like,
exactly.
This is what this says, boom, boom, boom. Or you can do them for yourself.
Yes, you can do them for yourself as well.
With a deck yourself. So I've got a couple little books around myself. When I was teaching myself, I bought myself a little course, which I have access to. I need to go back to it. It was more of a intuitive reading kind of course. And so it was really good. I just, me inconsistency sometimes.
Yeah, it's
fell
our
off.
Piscean downfall,
Fell off
the consistency
for just a minute, just fell off.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, do you want to get into the deck structure, or how are you feeling?
Let's go ahead and take a quick break, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about the deck structure, because I think that will also be helpful for everybody to get a little more insight.
Okay, let's do it. All right, so let's get back into the card deck.
The Dard Keck.
The Dard Keck?
Yes, let's get into it.
Yes, let's get into the structure of the deck of tarot.
Yes.
So, the structure of the deck is both intricate and symbolic, and it is comprised of 78 cards.
There's so many.
So many cards. And those 78 are divided into two main sections. Mm-hmm. So you have the major arcana and the minor arcana. Mm-hmm. So first, let's talk about the majors, right? So these are the majors. 22 cards. Mm. And so these cards are going to represent significant life events, archetypal figures, and spiritual lessons. Mm-hmm. So it starts with 0, which is the Fool. And it goes to 22, which I believe is the World.
Okay.
So each card in the major arcana has a unique name and number, such as the Fool, the Magician, the High Priestess, and the World. Mm. The major arcana typically follows a journey or a story, portraying the soul's evolution through various stages of life. So, we start as the Fool, the baby. It's like, well, we'll talk about how it relates to astrology soon, but kind of like Aries, right? Like,
I was just going to say, that's the baby of the, I'm baby.
Yeah, I'm baby. So we jump out here, we're more foolish, right? We jump out here, but we take risks, we do the things, right? Mm-hmm. Things that later on you might not do, but sometimes you want that energy, right? You want the energy of being willing to take those risks and being fearless. Mm-hmm. So there's some great qualities in that. And there's also some, it's called the Fool. So, then we have the minor arcana. So this is where the big part of the deck is. This is 56 cards. And so the minor arcana is divided into 4 suits.
Yes.
And so this is what probably more resembles like your playing deck here. Mm-hmm. So you've got the 4 suits, each have 14 cards. Mm-hmm. So you have the cups, you have wands or rods, you have swords, and then you have pentacles or coins. And so each of those suits, if they start to sound familiar, corresponds to an elemental aspect and specific life domains. So the cups, you have emotions. The wands, you have inspiration and action. The swords are for intellect and challenges. And the pentacles are for the material and practical aspects of life. It starts to kind of sound familiar with some other things we know about. So within each suit, there are also numbered cards. So we have ace through 10. And then you have 4 court cards. So then you have a page, a knight, a king, and a queen.
So very much, and I'm curious about like a standard card deck, like a 52, whatever. Like how did I wondered if these developed around the same time.
Yeah, that's interesting. We have to, maybe we'll have to do a quick research before we end the episode and see if when the standard card deck was created. I don't know the history of that deck. It might be based off this deck for all we know. I don't know.
Yeah, because it's like suits and numbers, and it's just there are some similarities in that way.
It's very similar.
I'll do a quick Google while you're...
Yeah, okay. Yes, there we go. So next we have the court cards. So those are 16 cards. The court cards are going to represent people or personality traits related to the elements in their respective suits. The pages are often going to symbolize youthful energy or a new phase. Knights are going to embody action. Queens are going to signify nurturing or receptive qualities. That's feminine energy, right?
Yeah.
And then kings are going to represent authority or mastery.
Okay.
So in each of those, then applies to the respective elements that you're looking at. So then we have the numbered cards. So then you've got these numbered cards in the minor arcana are going to depict situations, challenges, or opportunities, again, within the context of their respective suits. And the progression from ace to 10 often symbolizes the journey from potential, which is ace, to completion, which is the 10, within that specific aspect of life. So, people love, we love like the 10 of cups. It's like, abundance and overflowing. I think I had a 10 of cups sticker on my water bottle. I think it's faded now, but yeah, it's barely there.
Bring that back in. Let's get you a fresh one. Right?
Need a fresh one because that's, we love that energy, right? We love the 10 of cups. We don't usually like fives. Fives usually represent like challenges. So it's like, not a 5. But yeah, they each have their own meaning, and then of course representing back to that element. So then you get into, the back of the cards, right? And the back of the cards, usually uniform, may feature design or a pattern, artwork. That's not usually part of the reading. So, it's just like card deck, just got the design on the back, and people get creative. So this, this allows for the cards to be shuffled and drawn randomly during the reading. So like just keeping it uniform. But yeah, people get real creative, and, the designers in us all like make these artistic variations. So while there is a traditional structure in the cards themselves, various tarot decks feature unique artwork and their own themes and interpretations while maintaining the essential symbolism. So you may see some that are kind of like, oh, that's real different, but like the essential themes are there.
Right. It's following the same order, that sort of thing, same representation.
Some are, you can see some like real super minimalist ones, and then you see some that are like, very influenced by a certain culture. I've seen like hoodoo decks and things like that that are just like very like African-based cultures, or there's I know there's an African tarot deck. Like there's there's so many different kinds of
available out there. Yes, like you said, you gotta just get one that calls to you.
Get one that calls to you. But yeah, so artists are often going to infuse their decks with their own personal or cultural influences, and so that's going to contribute to the diverse range that there are available. So it's like, if I made a tarot deck, it'd probably be like very colorful and funky and fun or whatever, because
that's the vibe.
That's the vibe.
I say as I'm looking at your beautiful gallery behind you.
Right. Yes. It's like, that makes sense. So understanding the structure of the tarot deck is going to provide a foundation for interpreting the cards, and recognizing the symbolic journey that they represent across the major and the minor arcana. So people should spend some time with this, understand
even I've been like fucking around with tarot decks for like a minute, and this is really helping my even understanding of it, because like I'm always like, okay, I pull a card and then I like flip through and I'm like, all right, what does that mean again? Like, but having the more kind of generalized, it's the same with astrology. Like you just start to see patterns and things if you know kind of the generalized meaning, and you can kind of interpret. It's easier to interpret if you know that every suit means something different. Major arcana versus minor, it just makes a lot more sense that way.
Yes. And you start to, once you start to understand the patterns, like, the one cards mean like a general thing, the ace card means a general thing, the 2 card means something generally, and then you apply the elemental piece, and, you start to kind of cross-reference all of that knowledge, and it's very much in the same way astrology works, like, oh, okay, you start to just, okay, squares working this way, triangles working
Right.
this way, and so it starts to fit at some point the more you work with it.
Yeah,
But it is one of
exactly.
those things, it is like the more you work with it, it builds. So yeah, just, if you feel inspired, get you a deck and, start playing with it.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to a reading, you can play with it yourself.
Do it yourself.
You can do it yourself. DIY, etc.
Yeah.
But if if you got the funds, say, go see a reputable reader near you.
Exactly.
Just make sure they're reputable. So lastly, we're going to just touch on, again, we've touched on this a little bit, but tarot and astrology. How are they connected?
Everything's connected. We're just going to keep coming back to that.
So, they're both, divinatory systems, and they aim to provide insights into aspects of life, personality, and the future. While they have, distinct origins and methodologies, there are some connections between the two. So, we've got a connection with the symbolism and archetypes, right? So both tarot and astrology use symbolism and archetypes to convey their meanings. And the tarot cards feature archetypical figures and symbols that represent universal themes, much like the same astrological symbols and planetary archetypes.
Yeah.
So first we get into their elemental, correspondences. So tarot incorporates elemental correspondence through the 4 suits. So if you recognize some of the themes we were talking about just a few minutes ago, you've got cups, which corresponds with water signs. Right. Got wands, which correspond with fire. The swords correspond with air sign. And pentacles correspond with earth signs.
I'm remembering now that way back when we did our book club last season, I'm remembering reading a little bit about this and just everything is all of these things, as you said, are very distinct methodologies and they come from different places, but at the core, everything comes down to these elements. And that's so interesting. It really gives me the tingly, everything is connected. Everything is everything. Anyway, I just had a real moment about that.
Yes. And so again, astrology associates those 4 elements with those zodiac signs. We got water signs, fire signs, air signs, earth signs. So it all connects together there. So then we've got some astrological references in tarot. So some of the cards are directly associated with the astrological signs or planets. For example, you've got the Emperor is actually linked to Aries.
Oh, interesting.
And the Lovers to Gemini.
Really? Okay.
And then the Moon is actually linked to Pisces.
Pisces, not Cancer?
Not Cancer. So interesting, right? And I think, similar vibes, right? Sure, Pisces, Moon, Water Cancer, sign. Moon, probably real similar
very
energy
similar
in that moon energy.
1000%.
So, but interesting in that way. So then you've got the major arcana in particular may incorporate astrological symbolism to enhance the depths of its meanings. So usually, I think I have a book somewhere that has the links of each birthday and its tarot card, but then it gets into the astrology and then the tarot, the major tarot card that works with it, or the major arcana card.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yes. So then we've got some timing and influences, right? So astrology involves the study of planetary positions and their influence on the human affairs. Then we have tarot readers that may consider astrological timing, incorporating planetary transits or phases to provide a more nuanced interpretation of a reading. So then, if you've got your tarot reader that has knowledge of astrology. So again, when you have these readers or these people that have these cross references of skills and knowledge, they can use all of this in your session to enhance what
it really
they can
helps to kind of incorporate all of the above.
Yeah.
Into,
So it's very cool. So, you know, usually you find someone that has multiple things, but they just might not be a psychic. You know, it has to say that they're a psychic or medium. Okay.
Exactly.
Otherwise, no one's reading your future. No one's looking at the crystal ball. Well, crystal ball is like involved with like scrying. That's a whole thing. So like, it's like, but that's not part of tarot. Like,
it's not.
It's a different divination tool. Again, if they scry and they do tarot, but it's not the same. It's not the same, y'all.
It's not the same.
Anyways, okay. So then we get into your personal birth chart readings.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some practitioners will integrate tarot readings with astrology by considering both the natal chart and tarot spreads for a more comprehensive understanding.
Mm-hmm.
I hope to one day incorporate the two.
You're well on your way.
You know, I haven't spent the time with tarot in a while that I was spending with it when I was really trying to learn. So I got to come back to it. But yeah, hopefully they'll be able to intertwine all of these things together. Yes. It's gonna be great, y'all. Tarot cards can be seen as offering insights into specific aspects of a person's life. Mm-hmm. They can be complementing the broader perspective provided by the astrological birth chart.
Okay.
So then we have the spiritual and metaphysical connection between the two. So both systems are embraced by individuals who tend to seek spiritual and metaphysical guidance, right? You know, usually astrology people and tarot people are the same people.
That Venn diagram is almost entirely a circle, yeah.
Yep, it's a circle. So astrology and tarot can be used in tandem to explore spiritual growth, self-discovery, and the interconnectedness of cosmic energies.
Just exactly what we're getting at.
Mm-hmm. So while they're distinct practices, their shared use of symbols and archetypes and elemental correspondences can create a complementary and integrated approach to divination and self-reflection for those who find resonance in both systems. So that's the connection, y'all. Like,
that makes so much sense.
If you want to seek some growth, you want to seek some just guidance about how to move forward. You know, if you're stuck in a space, if you've got decisions to make and you're just kind of like, I don't know what I want to do, get a tarot reading. Get an astrological, reading,
for me, these kind of things, it all comes down to your ability to self-reflect and look at, kind of your own personal, again, I think I said this when we very first started the podcast, because I feel like the dynamic has shifted a little bit, because I swear, when we started this podcast, it was literally just I don't know shit. Tell me more. I'm interested, but I don't know anything.
Yes.
And I feel like I've learned a lot over the course of this, thanks to you. But it all comes back to the same concept of, and I said it at the very beginning, it's just these are all good tools for self-reflection. You within yourself have the knowledge to make the decisions that you need to make, but it's just pulling from these tools to do the self-reflection piece to pull that knowledge out of you. This is just another way to do that.
It's just another tool in your toolbox.
Exactly.
Nothing to be afraid of.
It's not scary.
Nothing scary happening. Nobody's calling on now somebody might call on some spirits. Again, depending on who you're working with.
And I will also say there are plenty of people who would argue that self-reflection is actually quite scary for them. You go into the depths of your mind and
some people it's scary.
What's in there? What's in there?
Are you a Scorpio?
It's nothing to be afraid of. Yeah, probably. Probably.
It's scary in there. I don't want to go in there.
I don't know about that.
Sagittarius, you avoiding yourself?
What are you running away from? Yeah,
I had a Sag identify themselves to me last week at a training. I was like, oh, you're an astrology person. She just turned to me. She's like, My Sag just really want to come out right now. I was like, oh, how did you know you could just say that to me?
You're a safe place for that. It's the
Yes.
vibes.
I was like, are you into astrology? She said, yes. I'm like, oh, we got to talk later. Okay, girl, yes.
Please talk to me about
New
it.
best friends.
I love it. I love it. All the astrological things.
That's all we got on tarot, y'all.
Okay,
Y'all got questions?
Yeah, let us know. If you, I think another thing that we could do is if you want to give us, again, we're always telling you, please send us your birth chart if you have not already. But we could do a couple of little pulls on the show if you would like that.
Into it.
If you give us an intentional question or whatever. Yeah.
I'd love to do a little reading. I'm always down.
Of course. Give the people what they want.
Give the people what they want. Okay.
Well, I think we don't really
have roll through.
Yeah, let's just roll on through because we don't have a horoscope this week, but we're gonna leave you with our meets, and it's the holiday season. It's like hopefully you're listening to this on.
We're gonna leave you with our meets.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Every week. Leave you with the meets. Hopefully you're listening to this on like a long drive because you're traveling somewhere to meet your family who's not cool with astrology, but you're gonna know exactly who they are and be able to pull decks, pull cards for them at the Christmas dinner table,
or maybe you're on a fun flight going somewhere like amazing. I don't know, somewhere sunny and warm, and I don't know.
Maybe you said, fuck Christmas, I'm gonna go just honor myself, and
Yes.
Yeah. I also don't want to assume everyone celebrates Christmas.
Get your beach on.
Hanukkah just ended, and all the other holidays that happen around this time, just like enjoy your time. I hope you get some time off work is really what I'm hoping. I hope that for everyone.
Yourself. It's whatever you need in this time.
These trying times.
I just hope that you get it. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Christine, do you want to tell them where to find us?
If you want to give us, a comment, a question, if you would like a reading, if you want to, just say hello. What's up, y'all? Send us a voice note. Now, voice note is different. Go to the link in our bio on social media to send voice notes. But if you would like to send, written commentary, questions, requests for readings, you can contact us at suchapiscespod@gmail.com. And that is spelled SUCHAPISCESPOD@gmail.com.
And per usual, you can also find us at Such a Pisces Pod on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Threads, anywhere that there is a social media platform. We are there at Such a Pisces Pod. And of course, if you have not already, let me tell you, please give us a 5-star rating, leave us a little review. Tell us about yourself. Tell us what you like about the podcast. Maybe tell us what you don't like about the podcast so we can stop fucking doing it. So we'll take some feedback.
Constructive criticism never hurt anyone. Well, maybe did hurt someone, but
probably did hurt someone.
Hurt someone, but it's fine. It's fine. We can take it.
We can take it.
We can take it. It's fine. Also, special note before we head on out. Next week, the episode that will be airing on January 1st of 2024. Very special episode. We're going to have a year ahead horoscope for the signs.
Yes.
That's all we're doing, y'all. So we're just coming in. We're going to hit you with the horoscope year ahead. Get some insights, plan your time accordingly, or don't. Just live it out and see how it unfolds.
We all know you're going to be hungover, regretting your decisions from New Year's Eve. Wake up, start fresh. Okay?
Turn us on.
Let you know what to expect for 2024.
That's right. Tell your friends, everybody likes a year ahead.
Right.
Everyone wants to, a little vibe prediction of what's going on in
Pull
the
out
next
your
year.
planners.
Yeah.
Write it down. Write down when all the retrogrades are going to be.
Okay.
I just saw that next year there is not one single Venus retrograde.
Yes.
So
well, that's good. Oh, yeah. I think that's about right. Uh-huh.
Because I
Which is
saw
great.
somebody talking about, like, there's not going to be any Venus retrogrades for the upcoming year, and that's why this last one that we had in 2023 was so rough on so many people.
This past one, I'm like, I don't remember as much. I have to think about it again, but the one in 2021 was the one that did me in, so I was antsy about the next one, but I think the last one wasn't so bad for me personally, but I don't think it was supposed to affect Pisces in that way.
Yeah, I think mine all, same. So, yeah, just something to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a better time for everyone's love life.
Blessings for everybody. Yes, blessings for everyone.
We'll tell you more about it on January 1st, so make sure you tune in.
All right, y'all. Well, as we say, stay safe in these streets and protect your energy.
Remember to seduce and scheme safely this holiday season. Bye,
all right, y'all. Bye.